Hi, guys. Welcome to the English show for Beltran Brito. My name is Stephanie, and I'm here with my favorite little attorney of the office. This is Andrea. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Merry Christmas also
Your
almost.
voice sounds so nice in here.
Oh, wow. Thank you. I'm losing my voice, guys.
But it sounds like it has that little sexy edge on it.
Like a host in a radio.
Exactly.
I like it.
Alrighty. So for those of you who may not know us, we are from Beltran Brito. We answer immigration questions live. We can represent you in all immigration matters. And so we're here sort of providing this free service to the public to answer your questions about any topics. We're on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, all the platforms. Hit us all up on all of them. Follow us, subscribe us everywhere. And I think take advantage, ask us all your questions, especially today. Today is December 23rd. So we're expecting that a lot of people are out doing some last minute shopping versus seeing us.
I agree. Some people in our office have to shop after work today, so we understand.
Exactly. But we wanted to, this isn't an official episode of the English show. This is just sort of a spin-off that we wanted to come here and talk and answer any questions, perhaps if there's any, and talk about some sort of trending topics in immigration. So
Get us started, girl.
let's talk trending topics in immigration. Let's give everyone a little preview first for next week's episode, the English show. Immigration today announced there are changes with the H-1B.
Yes, they did.
We don't know them yet because it was about 2 hours ago. So we have to read them. But stay tuned for next Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, Miami. There are changes that they just announced with the H-1B. So we will be able to go ahead and talk about it and say, okay, let's figure out what these new changes are. My expectation is they eliminate the 100,000. What do you think?
I think they saw enough backlash that they might remove it.
I think so. Because it's just like, you imagine the Amazons of the world and the Googles of the world saying, I'm not paying $100,000 per candidate.
Per person.
Per person. And that's just unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
And they need these workers. So let's see. So there's that on the front. Keep in tune for next Tuesday because we have some movement on the H-1B. We also have movement on that. I don't know that we discussed it last time, which is now they're no longer accepting photos. Did you get a chance to read that?
No, I didn't. Go ahead.
So they're not accepting self-submitted photos anymore for
Okay.
adjustment of status and for work authorizations for I-765. Now they will be taking your photo, which, mind you, they already do at the
Correct.
biometrics.
Yes.
But it's weird. They're very like, we are not accepting your own photos.
Well, at the end of the day, I guess now you guys don't have to pay for one.
Yeah.
Now you get to go ahead and do it in the biometric appointment.
But now what they'll do is they're going to do biometrics more frequently. So they're going to require a new photo every 3 years. So every single time you're going to have to get called in for an appointment, which is a little annoying.
It is.
All right,
could
let's
be
talk
worse.
about, could be worse. Let's talk about, we were talking about, someone asked us about changing status in the US. They're asking mostly tourist to student or tourist to O1s, for instance. And what's the lawful strategy to stay in the US? So talk to us about, like, when you file, what happens to your status?
All right. So let's say you're filing to a non-immigrant visa. So obviously the idea is to file a petition prior to your current status expiring. Okay. So let's say you're going from tourist visa to an O1 visa. So long as the petition is filed prior to your I-94 expiring, you are fine. You have lawful presence, you have lawful stay in the United States. So you don't need a decision prior to your I-94 expiring, but you do need to file the petition before then. So you have lawful presence and you're not accumulating illegal status in the United States. So on the other hand, if you're going to file for an immigrant petition, it's not just, for example, I'll give you the example of an EB1. It has 2 stages. Okay, so stage 1 is the I-140. The I-140 doesn't give you lawful status. It doesn't give you any form of status. So the idea would be to file the I-140, get the decision, and file the adjustment of status, which is that second stage, which is what gives you that lawful status and what stops you from accumulating any illegal presence in the US. So with a non-immigrant visa, you just need to file the petition. With an immigrant visa, you need to file that first stage and that second stage prior to your current status expiring.
Yes. I love that answer. Also, I have to say, and this is when we do the girls show, the whole time I was looking at your nails. Your nails look so lovely today.
Well, thank you guys. If you're interested, this is a red, beautiful color. This is a very girl
I
conversation.
was really looking at them and I was like, wow, they look so nice versus mine look butchered today. Like I really have to do them.
Hey, but we're twinsies. We both have red nails.
I never have red nails.
Neither
actually.
do I.
Isn't Kristen Sparrow? Look at us.
Wow, look at us.
Alrighty. So the other question that we have a lot, and someone was submitting a question regarding here, is what are we seeing as far as delays and processing times? If I'm honest, for as crazy as immigration is right now, there are not too many delays in processing, right? For a grand majority of the types of cases. So let's talk O1s, talent visas. O1s, talent visas are moving pretty fast. Regular processing is something like 5 to 6 months. Sometimes it goes as far as 8 months. But remember, you can pay premium processing for a decision within 15 days. And then you've got EB1 currently taking about 15 months, but with premium 15 daes. You've got EB2 and IW, which is taking a long time, but that one's taking a long time for a while.
And I feel like it's also taking a long time for a reason, you know?
Correct. And there are a lot of, be wary because there are a lot of people who overnight decided to become EB2 and IW specialists and experts. And I think that's why the wait times went up, because a lot of people said, yeah, we're going to do this. And there were so many applicants, which initially, essentially it diluted the pool, right? It diluted the pool because now immigration officers are being bogged down by people who perhaps don't really qualify. And that's why the increase in denial ratings, because they're looking at petitions that don't really qualify, people who just did it themselves, or like everyone became an EB2 and IW attorney overnight. So it's a little odd in that sense, but they're taking currently about, I would say, nearly 3 years. Perm is roughly the same place, and that is not with immigration. The reason perm takes so long, I think that's a misconception, is Department of Labor, not immigration. Immigration, you pay 15 days and that's it. You get your premium processing answer. But Department of Labor is taking a long time. Remember, Department of Labor gets no money from perm petitions, which makes that a case. But Andrea, what about for individuals from the 19 countries? Can they expect delays?
Yes, unfortunately, that is what we're seeing. So we've had petitions of people that have filed as a change of status. We've had people that have filed abroad as well, okay? And people that paid premium, for example. So usually with premium, 15 business days, you get a response. Right now, we already started a timer for certain people. 15 days have passed and they still haven't gotten a response. So this is what happens. Pretty much the new directive that was published says, hey guys, so we're putting a pause on all petitions when it comes down to citizens of these countries, okay? But then we ended up looking more into it, and it's not just the petitions that they mentioned in particular. They also affect people with I-129s, with I-140s, with I-539s, and all sorts of petitions for Venezuelans, for example, because those are generally like a lot of our clients. But anyone from any of these 19 countries could expect a delay, and we don't know when they're going to lift that pause, because right now everything is paused, right? You know? So
mind you, the pause, I feel like it's a misnomer.
It is.
Because it's not really paused.
Correct.
Because we have been getting decisions.
Correct. It's just delayed.
Delayed. Exactly.
And also, very important, guys, let's say if you did file the petition and it's pending, you're still covered, okay? Right. It doesn't mean that just because it's taking longer, you're not covered. No, you are. Because I've had clients ask me this over and over again, like, oh my goodness, but what's going to happen to me? Like, what's going to happen with my petition? I already filed it and I still haven't gotten a response. It's okay. We filed on time, so you're okay. It's just a matter of we just wait. Right. We wait until we get that decision.
So the question I'm getting a lot, which I'm sure you're getting a lot, is from Venezuelans specifically, or Cubans, or I just pulled up the list of 19 who might be watching this show. Haitians, Iranians, Libyans, Congolese. We don't got Turkmenistan, Togo, but I would love to. If you're from those countries, please call me. That seems interesting.
Or call me.
Myanmar, Burma. So what's happening is, the question is, do I pay premium? I don't know.
That's the $1 million question. Honestly, I think we've debated that in our office 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Is it worth telling somebody, spend that money, and then you might not get it back? Or is it worth just filing it so in that way, somehow, that petition is being filed faster anyway, and you might even get the refund at the end. You know, it's just, since we don't know, since this is something that has happened literally from one day to the next, we don't know what to tell. We can guide you and give you a recommendation, but we don't know.
Right. In a regular world, if you paid for premium processing and you did not get a decision, let's say in the case of an O1, in 15 business days, you could request a refund and you were given a refund automatically. Now, it is unclear. And just like Andrea said, because it's been going on for so little time, that's why we really don't know. It is unclear if now you're from one of these 19 countries, you pay premium processing, they don't give you a response within 15 days. Are you eligible for a refund? Because technically, well, there's an extra presidential proclamation. Does that override the INE requirement to give you a refund? We have no idea. It's incredibly frustrating. We're definitely going to know within the next month to 2 months because we have some at play, right? But yeah, so it's severe delays, and I don't know how to answer that question of whether or not to do premium.
You brought something up that I feel like people that are watching should also keep in mind, the proclamation. So the fact that that's being cited for even certain petitions that doesn't apply to, you know? So if that were to happen to you, just know it is incorrect, okay? It is not correct. So we've had a couple instances where we've gotten a request for evidence for a petition that was filed here in the US, so as a change of status on time. And we get this RFE citing the proclamation, which is supposed to be just for consular processing.
Correct.
For cases that were filed consular. So if that were to happen, just know that we're willing to fight that tooth and nail because that's truly incorrect. And I feel, and I've mentioned this to Stephanie multiple times, same with Alexis and Gil, there is going to come a point that there's so much backlash because of these types of injustices that they're going to have to get, you know, their affairs in order and try to follow the guidelines, follow policy, follow regulations, you know, in order to be able to go back to the way things were supposed to be, where there are these guidelines set in place for a reason. Okay, so I just wanted you guys to know, if that does happen to you, or if it did happen to you, you're not alone. You could reach out to us. We can help you out because we're not willing to stand for that, honestly.
Yeah, you know what? I love that you said that because it's just like, it's ridiculous. This administration can't do exactly what it wants and violate completely the INE or the law. They just can't do it. Okay. They can try, and they have been, by the way. We are getting 100% decisions that are saying, hey, listen, you're not allowed to do this when we 100% are. But we're in some cases suing the federal government. We're in some cases doing motions to reconsider to the AAO office, which is people who are a bit more sophisticated and know that they really can't just be going against the law like that. There will come a breaking point because we're not the only ones doing this, right? I'm very proud of us because I think we're taking a very defiant stand, and we need to ensure that our clients are being held to the proper standard and that immigration is following the law. But there's AILA, which is the American Immigration Lawyers Association, and they're fighting this tooth and nail as well. So listen, yeah, it's a little crazy times in immigration. And let's just say if you're in a situation where you get a decision that's completely off, we will fight it and we will eventually win it. Like, there is a way to eventually win these cases. Maybe it'll take a little longer and maybe it'll be a little dragging through the mud, but this administration can't keep doing this forever. So
there's going to be a
breaking point.
Yeah.
100%. I like how you say it.
Yeah.
All right. So I have a question from Instagram for you. This person applied for his removal of conditions, I-751. This is from Camisa Callase. Cami Callase. Anyway, I applied for my removal of conditions. They sent a letter requesting additional evidence, and they responded to the RFE about a month ago. How long do you think on average a response, and then finally the permanent green card?
I think the last I-751 I had, it was over 6 months.
Yeah. I mean, if it was a very brief RFE, maybe that'll do it faster. Maybe it'll be like 120 days. But if it was a lengthy RFE, you're looking at, I feel confident saying like 6 months. Yeah. So I know it was last month. Have a little more patience. I-751, surprisingly, even though the wait times reported are very long, they're giving decisions a little quicker than usual.
I agree.
All righty. Oh, God. I don't know that I want to answer this question.
I saw it too.
Woo!
I would leave that one to you.
This one? Oh, there's another one. Oh, okay. So I have one on one. Yeah, there's more than one.
I can't see the one you see.
I have one. Go to the chat.
Oh, thank you. Remember, guys, I am new in the studio. This is my second time in the studio.
All right. Dodgers forever. Oh my God. I was born here. Is Trump in favor of immigrants or not? Because we're being portrayed as the enemy. I want to immigrate to what was once a country of meritocracy. All right. Okay. I don't believe this administration is pro-immigrant. It's just they're putting so many measures into place that are anti-immigrant. I believe this administration ran on a campaign that was, we want people to do things the right way, but we specialize in individuals doing things the right way. We're immigration attorneys that specialize in business and family-based petitions and investor-based petitions. So we do things the right way, and that's the majority of our business. And we're seeing that they're being treated incorrectly and unfairly. So this administration, like I said, they said they wanted people to do things the right way, but even people who are doing things the right way are getting incorrect denials, negligent RFEs. They're getting responses that don't apply to their case. They're having to do motions to reconsider because the officers are misapplying the law. We're seeing this administration fire countless immigration judges and countless immigration officials, and then just put, if you look for a job posting right now, it says you basically just have to have a bachelor's degree. So we have a bunch of individuals who have no concept of immigration law, which is a very difficult of area law to understand.
Also important.
Yeah.
Something that I saw that I could almost bet on this, ChatGPT. ChatGPT, I could almost guarantee there is an RFE that I received that ChatGPT was used because, as Stephanie
You
said,
think?
yeah. The way that it was written, like if you've ever researched anything on ChatGPT, I could almost guarantee that RFE that I received was based on ChatGPT, because it's all it was missing is, you know how at the end it tells you like, would you like for me to restructure it a different way? That's all it was missing. So you have people that don't have the knowledge, don't have the experience evaluating these cases, and then they use, let's say for argument's sake, they did use ChatGPT. It shouldn't be like that. You're supposed to follow USCIS policy. You're supposed to follow USCIS regulations for a reason, because you could use any tool in the book, but there's a reason why we have these guidelines set in place, and there's a reason why us as attorneys, experience counts for something, okay? So, sorry, I just wanted to sidetrack really quick about that because it upset me.
No, it's just everything about this administration, what they're doing is very upsetting because, and I think we could say this very honestly in our office, and like, don't come for us, please. But we are all either first generation immigrants or immigrants ourselves, every single person in this office, And so we're here in Miami. Miami is a city founded by immigrants. So United States is a country founded by immigration.
Yeah.
And so for this administration to be so anti-immigrant, we take it personally here, especially here at Beltran Burrito, where we're all first generation or immigrants ourselves, or where we're in Miami, where we're surrounded by immigrants, and the common language is honestly Spanish over English. So it's something that we take very personally, and we continue to fight it daily because it's just unjust, and we don't see that this administration is being very pro-immigrant, unfortunately.
And also to keep in mind, if people are paying for this type of process, like that's the point, right? The point is to encourage people to do things the right way. Okay, so don't come illegally, but hey, then don't put so many blocks for people that want to do things the right way, because it discourages people. So that's why I'm gonna keep saying this. There will be a breaking point. The United States is known as a melting pot for a reason. There is a reason why the United States is this dream for so many people, because they are not just Americans, okay? Like most people here in the United States aren't American generationally, let's say. No. They either are immigrants themselves, or they are first generation or second generation immigrants. So it just can't work that way. It's just not, it has to stop.
Right. And then the other question, which is very much related, but hopefully we'll get towards questions that are not so much politics, right? We are asked by Moneyline Loot on Instagram, is Biden or Trump better for immigration business? Woo! I mean, definitely Biden. The Biden administration was far more open to immigration. Now, and this is now, we're just speaking personally, there were many policies in immigration that we didn't love, right? How they were handled. We didn't love how catch and release was handled by the Biden administration. We didn't like how certain processes, for instance, for how long they were taking for asylum petitions, or how they were doing humanitarian parole only for select countries. Every administration is going to have things that they didn't do very well. But at the end of the day, just the numbers will speak for themselves and the data will speak for themselves. So the former administration did have a far more pro-immigrant stance and far more approvals. That is true.
Yeah.
Now, that isn't to say, here's the thing. I don't want to discourage people from applying, right? It's just be prepared to take this to a bit of a battle and a bit of a fight. So instead of maybe 2 years ago, I would have been talking to you about your EB1 and I would have been like, all right, cool. You didn't judge anything for your EB1. Let's try it anyway. Now what I'm going to tell you is, you know what? Listen, Andrea, go
Yeah.
get me some judging before we apply. So it's not that you can't still apply. We have to be more creative in the way we do it.
Correct. That's also what I wanted to mention. And mind you, again, we're still getting approvals.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Like we are. Like things are getting approved. People are getting their green cards. People are getting their
Yeah.
petitions approved. It's just a matter of be prepared for a little more pushback and be prepared for us as the attorneys to maybe, ask you for a few more documents or, like maybe we asked you for something and now you get an email from us asking you for something else. It's a matter of us trying to cover all our bases and always giving you guys the highest probability of approval. The documentation process of a case, and I can't stress this enough, is stressful for the client
Mhm.
because they feel like it's never ending. It's
Right.
lengthy and we ask them over and over for different things and we push on certain things. Believe me when I tell you we do this for you,
Mhm.
okay? Because the idea is to avoid an RFE, because remember, it sucks for you guys, but it's also additional work for us, okay? In the sense of now we have to pretty much emphasize everything we already did and add new things when we could have maybe done that from the beginning, okay? That's not to say that RFEs won't come along. They will. Prepare for pushback from USCIS, but don't quit, okay? And don't think it's just you and don't think it's impossible because it's not, because we still are able to achieve these approvals. It's just a matter of work with us, to work with you, to be able to document the best case possible based on what we constantly see in all these petitions about what works, what doesn't work, what else we should include, what we shouldn't include, the things we see, like, we have friends, we have colleagues that are also working in immigration, and we share this feedback to be able to help these clients and be able to reach this approval. But it is not impossible. Just work with us and have the patience, because trust me, anything we ask you for, it's for a reason. And it's because we do want to help you get that approval right off the bat.
And then let's also say, to not be too discouraging either, remember that this is a little more targeted towards specific countries over others, okay? The 19 countries are getting more scrutiny, and the 30 countries that are on the new proposed list are going to get much more scrutiny than other countries. If you're from the UK or Argentina, you're not getting that much scrutiny. That's the truth. You're kind of business as usual. So take everything with a grain of salt of what we're saying. Don't be freaked out and say, well, listen, it's not a moment to apply. Yes, it is still a moment to apply. That's not a problem. If you're from one of these 19 countries, we're going to press you a little more for evidence. And if you're from one of these 30 countries, 19 countries, we're going to maybe potentially consider non-immigrant visas before green cards, because this administration is being a little tougher on green cards for those countries than they are for non-immigrant visas, temporary visas. So it's not that you can't win. It's just you have to be, again, more creative in your strategy, and you have to try and consider non-immigrant visas before green cards. You can always go straight to green card, but it's something we want to be a little more conservative in the way and in the approach we do it.
I have one here that I think you're going to like.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. Look at this one.
Can a change of status from TPS to OPT? I have my TPS approved until 2026, and I'm about to get a double master. You do not have TPS approved till 2026. Respectfully, Alfonso. The Trump administration did fully cancel TPS. I understand that Judge Chen indicated that there was an extension. I understand that there's an asterisk on the USCIS website that says if you applied for TPS prior to February 5th and you have you have a receipt notice or approval notice dated prior to February 5th, 2026, February 5th, 2025. You see, I'm losing the dates already. Let me start over. If you have a receipt notice dated prior to February 5th, 2025, I understand that the USCIS website is saying that you have your EAD automatically extended to October 2026. The Supreme Court has now twice said that Trump administration can lawfully cancel TPS. You cannot apply for a change of status, because while maybe you have EAD through October 2026, you do not have status because TPS status has officially been canceled, which is why you cannot change status. So unfortunately, you cannot. Ultimately, your idea is perhaps leave the country and then apply for something from abroad, or asylum or marriage. Those are realistically the options.
Correct. And that's why I wanted to bring it to your attention, because a lot of people are still confused about that. Like a lot of people genuinely still think that because once upon a time they read that they were going to have this extension, they think they still have TPS. you do not have TPS. Okay, like that is no longer a status. It's not
Mhm.
no longer a valid status.
Yep.
So I see one here. Emma Morticia, an Argentine friend asked me if I would recommend you for O1 visas. I said yes. In her own words, why?
Ooh. Wow.
Well,
I kind of love that actually.
I
Thanks,
love
Emma.
this. I love this. Why do I love this? Because O1 visas are my favorite visas of all time.
They're
okay?
our favorite. Yeah.
100%. Like this office thrives
Yeah.
on O1 visas, okay? And they're not as hard as people think. So why would you recommend this? We have the experience. We do these types of petitions constantly. We have good approval rates. We know what we're doing. We know the things USCIS likes to see, the things they don't like to see, the things we should include and should not include. So work with us. We know O1s. O1s are a thing.
I mean, Emma, our website's o1visa.com.
Come on. I'm about to get a tattoo on my forehead that says O1 visas.
I'll add to that. We have, I think, combined with Gil, with Alexis, we have well over 30 years of experience in O1s. It is our favorite because we have just kind of found a magic formula that has worked for us for well over 30 years at the firm. And there's a lot of individuals who sort of think it's very difficult. There's a lot of individuals who you'll talk to and say, no, this is only for an Emmy Award winner, an Oscar Award winner. Absolutely not. If you can be creative enough, you can get an O1 visa. And we don't like to publicize that too much because we don't want other attorneys like going into it and being like, oh, okay, really? Is it that easy? It's not. But there are very specific formulas that we have developed in order to get O1s approved. And we've done O1s for the weirdest careers. Like
Yeah.
we have done O1s for everything. I like to, we got to start naming some of our weirdos.
All right, I have one
Okay.
very specific
Okay.
somatic arts practice.
What is that?
Think of sort of like yoga,
Okay.
but it's more in the art of it. Okay?
Okay. What is
Let
that?
me tell you. So O1, O1B, okay, it's not even an O1A.
Mhm.
So think of it as, what are they called? Like yogis?
Yeah.
Okay, think of
Okay.
it like that. They handle these retreats, right?
Okay.
So that I found it very particular because we've done yoga instructors, we've
Yep.
done things like that, but a somatic arts practices, I can't get the
Are you
word.
saying
It's
that
just
right?
not gonna happen. SOMATIC.
Somatic. I'm
Somatic.
going to assume. Yeah.
Yeah, somatic arts practice. So that's one weird. That's one different one.
I did
I'm
one
gonna
for a
call them weird.
sound bowl guy. Remember the sound bowl guy?
I do.
So, he plays the sound bowls in like yogi retreats. Wow. We both went yoga with that.
Wow.
Sound bowl guy. We've done it for pole dancers,
Oh, plenty of those.
many pole dancers, content creators. So influencers, digital nomads, tons,
Lighting designers.
lighting designers, sound editors, sound designers, producers, camera guy,
Actors, singers,
actors,
so on and so forth.
singers,
Musicians.
poker players, domino players, karting athletes, equestrian. We
Oh, I
love
was about to say that one.
equestrians. Love
Tennis
anything with
players.
horses.
But that's O&A, but a tennis coach.
yeah, but
paddle
O1s,
players.
generally paddle. And mind you, this doesn't have to be your career. This could be your hobby. You can get an O1 based on your hobby, right? Photographers, food photographers, portrait photographers. We've done graphic design. We've done everything.
Yes.
You could be creative enough. We could do also, by the way, again, doesn't have to necessarily be the arts or athletics, CEOs of companies, electric
CFOs,
engineers, CFOs, marketing people, people who are specialized in energy, in EV, electric vehicles.
We've done a farm advisor.
Farm advisors, agricultural, a lot of
Yes.
agricultural actually.
Yes.
Oh, I have like a guy who like distributes bananas.
Oh, I love that.
I've
particular.
learned a lot about the distribution of bananas.
In this job, I've learned about so many different things that I would have never learned of anywhere else.
So Emma, I know we're droning on, but we are. This is to say we have a lot of experience in O1s, and we have a bit of a creative formula. I would say I can really confidently say that we can make anyone fit into an O1 if they listen to us and do our homework.
Yep, I
We
agree.
can make it fit. Alrighty, let's go with let's see. I see a question from Alfonso, just to clarify, how can I get a consultation with you? The lady told me you're not doing more cases of people with pending or denied asylums. We do not handle asylum. unfortunately. So we maybe it's something we should get into in the future realistically, but we do not handle asylum. We don't handle affirmative or defensive asylum because there is that court element and it's just not something we're particularly interested. So I'm sorry, but that isn't it. We could, if you write to us, we could certainly recommend. We have 2 or 3 attorneys that we really recommend for these spaces.
All right, I have seen one here. South Locomotion. Lately, have RFEs seemed more focused on objective evidence than before, or is that pretty much business as usual for USCIS? And in general, how are you approaching RFE responses now? So this is the thing. For certain RFEs, before you used to get away with just including pretty much letters for everything, okay? Now we are seeing that USCIS has kind of caught on to that, and now they're requesting maybe just, hey, okay, so this letter says this. Give me some evidence to corroborate that, okay? So I'll give you an example. Let's say you have created this technique, okay? And we're including letters from experts or from other professionals in your field saying, hey, look, where these people are attesting to the fact that they've used your techniques and that they're so important in the field, so on and so forth. USCIS might come back saying, okay, cool, you provided these letters. Now provide me evidence of that. So maybe there's some sort of documentation, like an article talking about your technique, or maybe there are some citations for professionals that have cited your if you, for example, publish that technique somewhere, or if you have any, like if there are, let's say it's a method and it's increased sales. Okay, show me documentation of how it's increased these sales. So we might be seeing a little bit more of that lately, but that's already been happening for a while. It's not necessarily based on the new administration. So it's just a matter, and how are we approaching RFEs? Responding to what they're asking for in the best possible way, trying to get as much, let's say, explanations for certain things, but it's just a matter of attacking what USCIS is saying.
Let me go with no, Alfonso. So there's no way here. Let me try and break this down a little more. If the receipt or approval notice of your TPS was issued prior to February 5th, 2026, and you got an approval notice through October 2026, with the decisions by the U.S. Supreme Court, with the decisions of Judge Chen out of Ninth Circuit, with all of that, what that means is that your EAD is extended through October 2026, but not your TPS status. And the only way to change status is if you have status. And your TPS status is not through October 2026, only your EAD. So you're actually in a really ugly gray area, because while you're allowed to work, you do not have status in the US. Meaning, if ICE is to come to your door at any moment in time, you can be deported. And number 2, you cannot change status, and you're accumulating unlawful presence. You're allowed to work. I'm telling you, it's a very gray area. You're allowed to work through October 2026, but you do not have status. I wanted to clarify that. Let's see. Who's this?
Oh, I know who he is. Currently waiting for my... Hello, Edgar Solorzano. You probably don't know I exist, but I have seen your emails come in. Currently waiting for my own visa response, hopefully a good one. I worked with Brito. Pretty sure Edgar was one of those that had TPS. We filed on time. It is very, very likely that you're in that moment right now, that because you're Venezuelan, you might be in that limbo where things might just take a little bit longer, but we still have high hopes. Hopefully we receive that response soon, and hopefully it's an approval.
It will be. Send good vibes. Send good vibes to him, Edgar. Send good vibes.
Sending the good vibes.
Catherine Carpio, why or where in the law says that an asylum pending application is not a legal status? Ooh, I cannot come up with a citation off the top of my head. I'm going to be honest with you. But what the law says is that it is a physical presence. You're lawfully present in the United States, but you do not have non-immigrant status. Okay. Those are the 2 direct things. You can have presence in the U.S. where you're allowed to be present in the U.S. while you're waiting for some sort of benefit. For instance, let's say you're applying for an adjustment of status. Until that's approved, you do not have status. You have physical presence, so you're allowed to lawfully be in the United States. Asylum is the same thing. You're allowed to lawfully be present in the United States, but you do not have a status until and if, and hopefully if, that asylum were to be approved.
Yep.
Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. Go with this one.
All right. Milagros Going, kind of Venezuelan with Italian passport, applied to an O1B now with premium processing. Yes. And remember, even if you are Venezuelan with a Venezuelan passport, you could apply with premium, but you could apply with your Italian nationality. Okay, so that's a good choice. That's a good idea. That's a good option.
Careful. Presidential proclamation said dual nationals.
Correct.
So it's
Correct.
what we were going to before.
Yeah,
To Andrea's point, you can.
correct. It doesn't preclude
Right.
you from filing. Okay, it's just a matter of you're still Venezuelan.
So, which is funny, right? Let's talk about that because that's worth exploring. Country of chargeability, which is usually what runs in immigration worlds,
Right.
is your country of birth. And usually, what do we say on this channel all the time? It's your country of chargeability, it's your country of birth. That's what matters. We don't care about anything else, right? But weirdly, Trump's presidential proclamation explicitly said for those 19 countries, even if you are a dual national, you still are going to have the hindrances of that. You're going to have the delays, right?
Right.
So you can apply with premium. And I think especially if you supply an Italian passport, maybe they will honor the premium.
I think so.
I
I think
think
it might
so.
be worth doing. And you know what? In the O1 petition, you generally have to include a copy of the passport.
Yeah.
Include the Italian one in there.
And the forms will say country citizenship,
Yes.
Italy/Venezuela. I would do it.
100%. Especially with how many mistakes USCIS is making lately. They might not even see it.
And here's the thing, like we said, we don't really know if all Venezuelans are going to be delayed.
Like, for example, that this is a good example of I have not done this yet.
Right.
So I would not be able to tell you if doing it this way will honor the 15 days or you'll fall within that delay because of being Venezuelan. So, hey, TBD.
Well, I'll give you an example. We got an approval this week on an 01, 15 days Venezuelan. And we got it within the 15 days. So it's not like, it's
Yeah.
not automatically going to happen. We just have to see if it's going to happen. Like it's
Correct.
just a maybe. I think she has better chances with an Italian
I think so
passport.
too.
Yeah. They're going to see Italian and be like, okay, let's go.
Question for you.
Uh-oh.
What if, sorry, question just popped into my head and I feel like people would want to know. What if this person is filing consular and it's time for her to stamp her visa and her passport? She could stamp her Italian
Oh
passport.
yeah, of course.
So then she might not have that limitation that Venezuelans now have, that they're stamping the passports pretty much for, I think it's 3 months and for one entry.
Yes. Excellent point.
So I feel like that might benefit you.
Yeah.
And it's something to keep in mind because Venezuelans right now, based on this control that they want to have over people coming in and leaving, and for Venezuelans to overstay, let's say, and I'm saying Venezuela because most of our clients, but we're talking about those 19 countries, okay? But for Venezuelans in particular, we are seeing that they're, let's say your O1 is approved and it's time for you to get the visa issued at the consulate. Once upon a time, you used to get the visa issued for 3 years, okay? Multiple entries. So you could come in and out and you don't have to go get the visa stamped every time. Now we're seeing that they're stamping it for 3 months, I believe, and for one entry, which means, to be fair, it doesn't mean that you just have your visa for 1 month and that's it, you have to apply again. No, it means that the first time you come in, that's your one-time entry. So if you were to depart again, you have to go get the visa issued at the consulate again for another month for another one-time entry. So it's a hassle, it's a problem, it's something that, again, I don't think is going to last long. But because you have an Italian passport, you might be able to avoid that.
I found for my lady, I was so curious. I was like, let me go look it up. So it is Policy Manual, Volume 7, Part M, Chapter 3. An unlawful presence exception applies during the period of time in which the asylee has a bona fide pending asylum application. So that's what's basically telling us that it is a presence and not a status. It does not count against the unlawful presence calculation. Milagros wrote to us in response to that. She said, I might just be emotional at this time since my husband is in ICE custody with a pending asylum and no criminal records at all. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Sorry.
That is rough. Honestly, ICE is just doing whatever the hell they want to do.
They are. And in an ugly
In
manner
an
too.
ugly way. If you're listening to this and you're getting the ads for ICE, do not go work for ICE.
No.
Let's see. What else do we got? Vicente. He's liking the girls show, is what he's saying. He's very much into the girls show.
The girl show is just the best kind of show.
So I'm actually really excited because I keep looking at your nails. They do look really great. I just did an 01 for a nail artist, Danny. I know. I'm really excited about it.
She is, for the record.
I'm so excited to get her approved. And then I'm like, I'm definitely gonna make Danny do my nails. I'm gonna be like, Danny, please.
Of course.
Like, I kind of want her to like be doing my nails while we're talking about it, and like she's showing us.
You know what you should do? Make it a clip.
That's what
Make
I'm
it
saying.
100%.
Like she comes into the studio and she like
Yes.
talks to us about her art form.
Now that you mentioned this in front of me, I must be here.
I know.
I need to get.
And now we're gonna make her do both of our nails.
Yes. Make it an extra long show. You guys would love that.
Yeah, they would love hearing us talk. Alrighty, I think we're coming to a closing point. I don't see more questions here. Thank you so much for everyone who's with us on the English show. Like we said, it's sort of a free immigration question and answer, which is, I think, a really cool free resource that not everyone is providing. So take advantage of us, share it with your friends. We do the Spanish show on Thursdays at noon Miami time, and we do the English show on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Miami time. Thank you so much. Can you guys put Andrea on the screen, please? We'd like to see her beautiful face.
I've also been smiling at you guys without
know.
realizing I'm not in the screen. Hey, I'm back.
Thank you so much to everyone being with us. We wish you guys a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, whatever you're celebrating this holiday season. Happy holidays, Happy New Year.
Oh, and we can't wait to see you guys next year.
Can't wait to see you in the new year. Have your questions. We will always be here to fight for you. I liked what someone said. Someone said here, which is really nice. Jasper said the best immigration lawyer is one who's lived it, who's crossed borders with a dream and seen their parents sacrifice everything. They don't just represent you, they understand you. And Jasper, honestly, I could say really honestly, that is the case for every single person in this office, attorney, paralegal, secretary, every single one of us have seen it firsthand. So thank you. Exactly. Thank you so much for being with us. Happy holidays, and we'll see you on the next show.
Bye, guys.